Hi, and welcome. I'm going to do a video on my cheap solar setup I bought. This isn't everything I'm buying quite yet. That's everything minus one or two things. The first thing that's not here is I have party lights that are like strings of Christmas lights kind of things that you can plug in here and light up a big area. Those are cheap and you can get a bunch of those. Highly recommend. The other thing I don't have at the moment is a fridge that is capable of being run off of this thing. I'm shopping, trying to decide which one I want to get. I'm going to do a video on that whenever I end up getting one. It might even be 6 months to a year or something like that. I don't know. But for now, I figured refrigeration was actually the last thing on my list of shit for this to do. As for what I did get it to do, here's what I've bought so far. I have some of those party lights, like I said. And I've got these. Got two of pretty much everything except for this ice coat lantern, by the way. This is a like 60 watt LED light bulb on a USB. I figured those would be pretty handy to have with this. This ice coat lantern I bought for camping and whatnot, and I also, this thing, it'll be handy. It was like 30 or 40 bucks, so I only got one of those, and it's built kind of like a tank. I might get another, we'll see. This is a water pump. I bought it to try to jerry-rig some sort of thing in a van, basically. I want to have a sink that I can fold up in the back of it, kind of. And that fits on a 5-gallon water jug, and it costs like $10. I only got one of those. I might actually buy another one of those. I'm really trying to get two of everything except this thing, which is kind of the main focus of this video, is the panel and the battery. The battery was $569 on Amazon, which is a lot, but it does a lot of shit. It can take 200 watts max input. It has an 800 watt inverter and like a 600 watt amp hour battery in it, and it's the new lithium iron phosphate batteries that are way better than the old lithium ions. They last about like 4 times as long or something like that. So instead of getting 2, 3, 4, 5 years out of this thing, you're maybe getting a couple of decades. I highly recommend the Blue Eddy. All of their stuff is made with that battery, and they make them in varying sizes. This is the EV70S. Overall, I think it's the one I would buy for preparedness. They have a couple other different models you might look into, but this is the one that I bought. I think it's the smallest one that will run a refrigerator. That's why I bought it. For the panel, that's a Renogy 200 watt panel from Amazon. You can spend a lot more money on a panel and get one that folds up. I got a hard panel because it was cheap and it lasts longer. I got that panel for 200 bucks. They're like 280 now. I would highly recommend this setup, and it'll run all of these little gadgets you see here. I bought these little batteries because you could recharge them off of this thing and run shit like this or this fan off of it pretty fucking easy. And I think that would be handy to have. I'd kind of like to get more of these. These were also 10 bucks. They were on Amazon. Whatever kind of like phone recharge battery you want to get is fine, I'm sure. But whatever you get, I would get 2 of, because this shit's electronic and electronics suck. I got an extension cord for the panel to the battery, and then I got a couple of automotive heating blankets. These were recommended by the van life people. I kind of figure if it's cold or whatever, these might be nice to have. Same thing with the fans. Got 2 of those. I'd like to find a big rechargeable fan. That's, one of my additional goals, aside from the fridge, is a big rechargeable fan that this shit will power. This stuff I got 2 portable DVD players and an external Blu-ray drive, I think that is, for my PC, which is a laptop, which can also be powered by this shit. So I would encourage you to get a laptop on top of this, but that's what that's for. But the portable DVD players are for entertainment. We got original Star Trek, TV show and the movies, Beverly Hillbillies, MASH, let's see what else we got. Navy SEALs and Red Dawn, Goldfinger, Indiana Jones, Kingsman, a gun documentary. I'm still kind of building this out, but this is like the end of the world DVD wallet. I don't know what else I'm going to add to this, but this is pretty much what I've bought so far to run off of my solar rig. Like, it's not glamorous or anything, but this shit is kind of basic and it's going to work. Some of the stuff is going to need to be replaced over time, and maybe I'll get some more. Like, these things are $10. These things are $10. These things are $10, and so are these. So I would buy a lot of those. I tried to go light because I'm kind of crazy and I tend to overdo things. So I was like, let's just get 2 of everything, which is kind of an extreme thing to do, I think. But those car heating blankets, those things are cheap as fuck too. Those are like $20. You could probably have a stack of those. I don't know how many you could run off of this thing, but my point is more, they will break, they will run out, they will whatever. Having new ones in the wrap is just, it's good to have for this kind of shit. And if you're spending all the money to get this thing and a solar panel, which is, the better part of $1,000, buy some extras of the small shit if it costs $10. Those portable DVD players were $80 a piece on Amazon. One's 12 inches and one's 15 inches. I would highly recommend either one of them. I played with one of them more than the other because I'm kind of trying to keep one brand new and trying to make sure the other one will at least last long enough to be useful. Flashlights. I really want to get a rechargeable flashlight for this thing. Right now all my flashlights run off of CR123s or AA's. I think some rechargeable flashlights would be a great thing to have for this. There's some other stuff that might be good to have. I was thinking about battery powered tools. There's definitely battery powered tools that you could recharge the batteries off of this thing, like a cordless drill, cordless saw, maybe an angle grinder, that kind of stuff. This is like camping place to start with this shit. And I think that's the level I wanted to invest in solar, and I think it makes sense. What you're looking at here in this picture is probably the better part of $1,500, I'd guess. Something like that, with the DVDs and the DVD players and everything else. And some shit that's not pictured also, like I said, the party lights and stuff like that, which I think honestly are going to be super fucking useful. They're a good way to light up an area. This is my new camping setup, and or shit hits the fan, this is now my electrical grid. I would encourage most people to go get at least a setup like this, if not a bigger one. You can spend a little bit more money and get folding panels. I'm planning to put that panel on top of a car, so that'll take care of that for storage and transport of that thing. It's kind of big and heavy. If I had it to do over again and I knew I wasn't going to mount that to a car, I would definitely get the folding panel. It's worth the extra money. But I think I would also buy a hard panel and throw it in the garage, because it's not that much money to get one of those in comparison, and it lasts a hell of a lot longer. And at least at home base or whatever, you'd have a fucking bulletproof one. Anyway, this video's probably been long enough. This is kind of what I've been doing for the past few months, is figuring this shit out for myself. So I figured I would make videos on what I bought and what my conclusions were. There's other videos already up. I'm going to keep doing more of these, just throwing out a table full of shit that I bought and saying why. Because, like, I don't really know what else to do. and this is taking my mind off of the end of the world right now. And maybe it'll help some of you guys out. So see you next time.